Welcome friends to the Rare Mob Killdex for Shimmersand. And Shimmersand doesn't have that many rares, so this is kind of a short one. And one of the first ones I want to show you is an undocumented rare, but he is really neat. You know, this is really one of the neat things that, you know, they should do with more rares. You know, I mean, you have a bunch of nomads playing soccer with a skull. I mean, isn't that awesome? You know, I mean, you can't ask for more than that. That is just too cool. And it kind of sucks to spoil these poor guys' game, but, you know, hey, gotta kill it and see what it has, right? I have seen this before. I have seen this skull before, and I've seen it, like, hang up about 20 nomads. So if you see it, like, 20 nomads all clumped together at, like, one of these pillars like this, that means, like, they're on this skull and they're stuck, you know. I was like, what in the hell is going on right there, you know? And I saw that they were attacking this skull. And as you see, like, the skull, I don't believe it even fights back, really. And if you get it in the open area, you have to chase it down. I just kind of got lucky, and it got kind of hung up on this pillar here. So you're going to have to be on your toes a little bit, and you do need to chase this thing down. It can chase further away, and it can, like, reset itself, you know. So gonna have to be on your toes a little bit and chase this sucker down. It's pretty cool, you know. It has a pretty cool little hat, unique hat. Now the skull doesn't count towards any achievement. It's just kind of something. If you see it, you might want to kill it for fun. You might want to play a little game with it, you know, chase it around or something. Get your buddies, have a little match. And you see it's right next to the Scaldwater fields, and right pretty close to Fortune's Shore. Yeah, I usually, if you take out the back entrance to Fortune's Shore, that's when you'll come right across it. Just take out that little back gate there. Yeah. And speaking of Scaldwater fields, its namesake, Lord Scaldwater. Oh yeah, he is right down towards, you know, down from the dragon guys, you know, and he's here quite a bit. I see Lord Scaldwater usually like every day. You know, I'm out here mining and artifact hunting and all that good stuff, and dailies, whatever. And I always have my macro just in case there's some little rare hiding around here. But there's not very many for Shimmersand, and there's only a handful, really. You know, you're going to know where they're at, and you can probably see them just with your own eyes. But the targeting macro, can't really beat that. You know, it's kind of a hands-free, not think about thing. You know, well, if you have a G15 keyboard, it's hands-free. Otherwise, you do have to spam that macro by hand. And if you do not have a G15 keyboard, well, I cannot highly recommend any better keyboard than one of these things. They are completely amazing and completely within the toss as well. So, you know, it's not anything illegal. There's mice like the Razer, which you can program as just as equally as a G15. Anyway, Lord Scaldwater, he's right, you know, down towards the bottom there, or actually the top there, of Scaldwater fields, and yeah, he's easy to find, no problem at all. Now we have the Mangled Exile. I really didn't know what to expect with this guy. I thought it was going to be like a zombie or something, like some mangled guy, but no, it's a little leopard, like one of the pets, the warrior pets, and he has a kind of a unique coloring, and you might see him by your eye, you know, without even using the macro. And he's not too far from Fortune's Shore. And really, none of these creatures were a challenge at all, you know. I mean, none of them are elites, and some of them have quite a few hit points, but that's about it. You know, that's nothing that's going to represent any kind of challenge. You know, even if you're below 50th level, if you're at least like 45 or so, should be able to handle it. You know, you might wait till 50 to get your rare mob hunt on. I think that's what most people do. Like I've mentioned in another video, I don't think people just stop in the middle of leveling to just go hunt rares. You know, that's a little bit crazy, I think. But I don't know. Anyway, this guy, he spawns pretty regularly, and I've seen him a few times, and I don't think you're going to have any problem knocking out this whole zone in maybe a day. It took a little time to get this video together because I have to get all the rares, but it wasn't as bad as a lot of the other zones. This guy, the Predator, who we're just coming up on now, he was a little bit of a challenge to find, and I really only saw him one time. As you see, he spawns right next to a rift, which many of these rares do for some reason. They're right on top of a rift, right on top of a foothold, and very bad positioning, let me just say. And on top of them being rare, they're being killed by invasions and they're being killed by rifts. And so you might want to camp this guy a little bit. Keep your eyes peeled if there's invasions happening and you're looking for him. He's right at the entrance to the Droughtlands, so he's not hard to find at all. You can just sit here and spam your macro and he'll eventually show up. And like many of the rares, he does drop a specific item, an item I'm sure that is reused. I'm sure this model is reused, but at least the name is unique. And you see he's right by the flat yard right there, and right towards the Droughtlands, right at that little catty corner. It's not the main path into the Droughtlands. It's kind of like the far way around path if you were going to take that way. But anyhow, you see it right there on your map. You got the coordinates. You got the targeting macro. You're ready to go. You're going to knock these rares out in no time. And I always look around after a kill so you can make some visual references or, visual landmarks. And last but not least, Grand Councilman Al-Hazid. Now, that's a mouthful. And he starts off friendly, and he obviously doesn't like to be talked to. And he is also another rare that is right on top of an invasion. You see right behind him, right there, you see that gigantic invasion. Yeah, well, I'm not sure that they would have combat since he is friendly when you first engage him. But still, there's always that possibility. He could be attacked. He could be getting killed by invasions. Thankfully, the targeting macro can pick him up from pretty far off. And it is a little bit of a climb to get up to where he's at. He's right at the entrance to the Golden Mall complex right here in Shimmersand, And, if you have your targeting macro, you actually don't even have to go all the way to the top. You should be able to pick him up from below the cliff, and then you can decide if you want to go on up and take him down. And this has been your Killdex for Shimmersand. I am Darkhosis, your host. The channel name is The Gamer Down, and it would really help me out if you thumbs up videos and subscribed if you haven't. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.